This is a 2007 Toyota Camry. This car is here in the shop because the thermostat seems to be stuck closed. We're going to replace the thermostat. This car has the 3.5-liter V6 2gr-fe engine. It's the same engine that you find in many other vehicles: Highlander, RAV4, Avalon, Toyota Sienna minivan, Lexus vehicles, RX 350, ES 350, and much of what we're going to do here applies directly to those vehicles as well. On this engine, the thermostat is located right here in this housing. It's at the end of a tube that goes into the lower radiator hose, as you see right there. And to remove the thermostat, we have to remove the hose, and then we remove this tube. You can see one of the bolts for the tube. It's a 10 millimeter, or rather it's a nut. It's a 10 millimeter nut. The other one you just absolutely cannot see. I will show you how you can reach it in just a minute. It goes without saying that we started by draining the radiator. Now we've disconnected this hose and we've pushed it back to the side. Using this 10 millimeter socket with an extension and a small ratchet wrench, I was able to remove the nut from the stud on the bottom there. You can see it sort of. Okay, now the top one is a lot harder to see and a lot harder to reach. It's in this gap right here, and if you look hard enough you will see exactly where it is. It is exactly at 180 degree opposite to the bottom stud. Okay, so you're gonna have to get it by feel pretty much, because it's almost impossible to see it. I've got both nuts out, and this water neck is now jiggling freely, but there is just one more thing that is keeping it from coming out, and it is this idler pulley that you can see right there. Just underneath the water neck there's an idler pulley, and this pulley is preventing the water neck from coming out. So what this means, we have to remove the serpentine belt and remove the pulley. To loosen the serpentine belt, I took a socket wrench with a 14 millimeter socket, and I put it on the tensioner pulley, and then I took an Allen key, and as I pulled or turned the tensioner pulley counterclockwise, I slipped the Allen key through the hole in the bottom of the tensioner, and this holds the tensioner in the release position. So now I can go back up and I can remove the idler pulley. This is that idler pulley and this bolt, and it also has a washer right here in the middle, so don't drop the washer when you remove the pulley. You'll be looking for it all over. And now let's see if this water neck, yep, with the pulley out of the way, the water neck comes right out, and here you can see where's the position of that other nut that I was telling you about. There you can see the position of the thermostat that for some reason was not opening yesterday. I'm going to use a screwdriver to pry it out. Then I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually test it. This thermostat did come out, however its O-ring or seal remained seated, and I'm going to have to fish that out of there because I'm going to replace it with a new seal with a new thermostat. Here is the new thermostat, and I've made sure that its new O-ring is very well seated around the flange of the thermostat. You want this to be very securely seated. Squeeze it into place, and I'm just going to compare it here with the old thermostat. So the old thermostat, which is the original, it's a little bit heavier duty, it looks like, than the new one, but I think that the new one is still pretty good quality thermostat. It's not one of those chintzy thermostats. And this is a teapot with water that's coming to a boil, and it's not for making tea. It's for testing the thermostat by dropping it into the water and seeing if it opens. The water is coming to a rolling boil. That's perfect. Here is the thermostat. You can see that it's in the closed position. I'm going to just dunk it in here and wait a little bit and see if it opens. Check. Yeah, it is opening slowly. Okay, so here we see it's opened. So whatever problem we were having, it was not due to the thermostat not opening. But this was the only way to really check it. There may have been another blockage in the system. Now I'm going to test the new thermostat. Here's the new thermostat. I'm going to drop it into the boiling water, just like I did with the old thermostat. See how it does as far as opening up. Water is boiling. This thermostat, always test a new thermostat. Don't take it on faith that it's going to open. Yeah, this one opened very quickly. That's good. I've just installed the new thermostat. The jiggler, in case you are wondering, is pointed to the very top. Make sure when you install the thermostat that the O-ring is pushed securely into the recess of the thermostat housing. And if you have an incredible amount of finesse, like I do, then you can get this nut right back onto the stud where it belongs by using a ratchet like this. Okay, and you just have to aim it and get it started, and then you can tighten it down and you're all good. And again, exercising an incredible amount of finesse that I do possess, and you may or may not possess, I'm able to get this bolt started for this pulley with the washer on it and everything, and it's passing right over the belt as it should. Now to refill the system, I use this setup right here, a filler funnel. This is really one of the most useful things you can have for filling these coolant systems. And one more very important hint, right down here where I'm going to show you with this light is a purge valve. Okay, hope you can see it. And you use a 10mm socket to open this purge valve while you're filling, and this allows air to come out of the system. So what I've done here is I've put a clear tube on top of the bleed nipple, and you can see the coolant is starting to flow up into this tube, and I'm just rerouting it back into the funnel, and so that if it does come up, it just won't make a mess everywhere. And I'm just going to see how far this is going to rise. And there, it's coming up to a nice level. If I move this tube, it rises even higher. So I think we're good as far as getting the air out of the system. I've started the engine. I'm leaving the funnel right here. I'm going to wait for the thermostat to open. Now, I'm going to monitor the engine coolant temperature right here. And this is just to be cautious, to make sure that it does not get away from us for any reason. Temperature is now over 70 degrees centigrade, and we get to about 80, 85 centigrade. That's when the thermostat should open, and I can verify that the thermostat has opened when this hose right here turns hot. We're at 97 degrees. The fans have just come on, but the lower radiator hose is still cold. I'm going to shut off the engine. So what went on here is that there was apparently air trapped in this lower radiator hose or in the thermostat inlet right there. So by repeatedly squeezing this hose, squeezing it with bubbles coming out here, it finally broke the airlock, and now the coolant is flowing through and the hose has turned hot. So fans are off, all is good. We averted a disaster just by being vigilant. And here you can see that what's happening is exactly what's supposed to happen. After the thermostat opens, any air that remains in the system circulates and flows out through the funnel. You can see the bubbles rising. This completes the repair on this Toyota Camry. And of course we're going to take it out for a test drive. And if there is anything new to add, we'll let you know. But you can just safely assume that this repair was successful. Thank you for watching.